Hey, listen, it seems like we're dealing with some little demon today, bro. Literally, because it's saying he's a teen and he did this. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's just get into the video. It's about to get wicked and crazy real quick. All I ask is, if you're new here and you actually watch this through and you enjoy the video, sub up and join us. To everybody else, run a likes up and let's get into it.
There's nothing I know about this. Nothing.
This is 17-year-old Javarcy Tapley, who murdered his cousin Caleb Short. However, he didn't stop there. He also killed Caleb's mother, Gloria Short, and his 10-year-old niece.
Wow, what? This is not just, bro, this is a massacre. What type of demon seed do you have to be to try to end your own? Not try, in this case he did, bro. What am I getting myself into? What is this? At 17? With 3 bodies around his neck. Hold on, let me sit up straight, man. This is, wow.
But why would he kill his own family? This discovery was made on January 4th, 2016, when Caleb's father, Robert Short, came home from work and was met with a horrifying scene. His entire family was lying dead in a pool of blood.
Wow.
Please send someone, please. I want to kill my family.
Someone killed your family?
Somebody killed my came home, my family's dead.
When the detectives brought Javarcy into the interrogation room, they confronted a very stubborn suspect who was continuously trying to outsmart them.
You want to kill the innocent child?
To put it super mildly, the only way to deal with this type of demon is to give them the same treatment they subjected these innocent people to. You decided to end 3 innocent people, you deserve to be ended in the same, let me say it like this, people in the past, the methods they used should be brought back for you, especially if you're convicted and it's 100% him. No doubt at all. Bring back some of those medieval methods, bro, and subject him to it. We're barely into the video and this is sickening, bro. Why? For what?
No, sir, I would not.
A person like you won't kill a grandmother.
No.
Javarcy Tapley is a 17-year-old who grew up together with his cousin Caleb Short and his family in Upatoy, Georgia. But unknown to the others, jealousy was building up inside Javarcy's heart, and this jealousy would soon destroy the happiness of the entire family. On January 4th, 2016, after the tragic 911 call, officers arrived at the scene only to witness that the house had become a place of horror. But despite the grim circumstances, the officers pushed forward and interviewed a heartbroken Robert.
So I went in. My wife was laying in the hallway, face down, and stuff was scattered everywhere. And I checked the pulse, and no pulse.
Now, when you say you check the pulse, where do you check a pulse at?
Carotid.
Carotid order?
And I saw my granddaughter laying in the living room, face up, and I checked her pulse, and she was cold. And I started running through the house looking for my son, calling his name. He wasn't in his room. So I ran back out into my room and found him in my bedroom closet, tied up.
Take your time.
I didn't check the house no further than I came back out and went back in and checked him again.
So you say you came back out?
I came back out to my wife and then I went back and checked on him and I couldn't get back up. Then I started trying to call 911. I haven't taken a couple of minutes to call 911 because I was also.
Now, with your son, did you check his pulse also?
Yeah.
Okay. And you mentioned that your granddaughter, you check her pulse?
Yeah.
When the detectives couldn't find any useful information from Robert, they started digging into Caleb's close contacts. They searched through Caleb's phone, and the last person he had contacted was his cousin, Javarcy Tapley. The entire Short family was butchered brutally, and the murder scene was disturbing enough to unnerve even the most hardened officers. Adding to the
In terms of tragedies, there are some things you can bounce back from. There are some things that will stick with you for the rest of your life. There are some things that will break you. And then there's this. No word in the English language can describe how that man is feeling and what needs to happen to the demon that did this. The least that can happen once this is all said and done, in terms of once he's fully convicted, there's no doubt, and he's 100% the one that did it, The least that can happen, I'm talking about the father here, bro. He has to take revenge for these people. They should add a legal way for him to do that, is all I'm saying. How does your brain even function after this? How can you live after this? You can't even say like, bro, revenge is not gonna heal the... Shut up. Shut up. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I can sit here and explain that and break it down, but I don't think I need to. Justice needs to be served. And the person that serves it should be the person that's subjected to this pain for the rest of their life, which is this father. The man that has to live with the fact that his entire family just got butchered.
Unnerving circumstances, there was no CCTV footage or any witness to the crime. The only lead the detectives managed to secure was Caleb's contact list and the one name that stood out. With that, they brought in Javarsi as their primary suspect, since he was the last one to call Caleb.
First of all, I want to thank you, for, coming down, cooperating with us and, willing to help us with what's been going on. We just want to try to, meet with some of the family members, just want to see what information that they have or anything that they knew. Tell me about Caleb. Who is he to you, first of all?
My cousin.
What type of kid was Caleb?
Caleb, now, his mouth can be a little, but Caleb was the sweetest kid you'll ever meet, sir. The sweetest kid.
Okay, he was real sweet.
He'll never harm anybody else. Of course, everybody talk a little smack every now and then. I do it myself. I'm pretty sure you do it from time to time, but any other than that, Caleb didn't have no problems with anybody, not that I know of. Basically, I was his only kind of brother figure in his life.
Right.
And he was kind of only mine because me and him used to go on vacations and I went out there with stuff like that. Like I was telling him, I didn't know too much about Caleb's social life.
Y'all know how I told y'all we as human beings have a guilty consciousness, right? And sometimes when you're in trouble, you suppress it. In this situation, this little piece of shit has none of that, bro. This is literally... When I told you, listen to me very carefully. And there's many ways that y'all can interpret my words, right? But humans can be extremely evil and brutal by nature, for sure. In situations where it's, for example, if you look in the past in history, people invading each other, killing each other because they want to take over this city or this plot of land or whatever, that is very different than this shit. Than a fucking demon smoking and literally annihilating his own family. We're about to find out here because they said it's something with jealousy. So money's probably involved. If I had to bet, this is about to be something super petty and small that he did all this for, which makes it even that much worse. But my point is, this piece of shit that we're looking at has no human soul, bro. Straight up. It's only I don't know what's in there. It's a jinn, it's a demon soul, it's some other it's a black void. It's something else. Because like I said, the act of smoking your own is something, especially in this way, especially a little girl and a grandma. Like, hello? Even these words can't describe the amounts of pure evil that has to be in you to pull this shit off. And to sit here and talk with a straight face about the person you just murked like you didn't do it. And to be able to convey words and thoughts after you do some shit like this. Hold on, man.
All I knew is when I come out there, it would just be me, him, and his friends.
Right.
So like with your homeboys at high school, y'all sit around, joke around, play basketball, talk about girls and stuff like that. That's what we do. That's what we do.
Right.
Although detectives let him go, they had a hunch that Javarsi was hiding something.
I know he's only been talking to them for a little bit, but no tears, no emotions. Hello, why are you smiling? No emotion, just talking straight about somebody you just found out got fucking slaughtered. If obviously this was an innocent person, that alone sets off all kinds of deep, dark red flags
Behind his friendly face. They would soon find out that their suspicions about him were correct. 2 cars were stolen from Caleb's residence during the incident. Detectives managed to track the GPS of one of the vehicles that led them to Oakland Park. Both of the vehicles were found at the same place. Using luminol, bloodstains were identified in the car, and detectives carefully collected DNA samples and fingerprints from both the interior and exterior of the vehicle as part of their investigation. After the news broke about the stolen cars being found, the police received an unexpected call from a woman indicating that her son, Raheem Gibson, might be involved in the theft of the vehicles that were found in Oakland Park.
He said that he was with a friend. What's the friend's name?
All I know is
Weeda?
and Weeda and some other boy. Another boy name. Wheat, huh? Weeda. Weeda.
And he said they went to the house and
I don't know what house. They came there with some stuff.
Where's the stuff?
That boy came back driving the car. My child did.
Okay.
Whatever they find the open part.
Following the lead, detectives brought in Raheem Gibson, who would later become the key to solving the entire case.
So here we are, we're at the house. Does he give you a plan, or what's Weeda telling you? Does he give you a role?
No, he just says he ain't gonna tell who I am when he first comes to the door, so y'all just stand on the side.
Okay. But backing up, what did you say you saw in the driveway?
This is somebody else, by the way, who was with him, is what I'm understanding.
Basketball goal.
Okay, basketball. Was there any vehicles in the driveway at this time?
Yes.
Okay. What vehicle was in the driveway?
The truck.
Okay, when you say truck, you know what color the truck was?
Black.
Okay. Truck as in like it had an open part in the back, or an SUV?
SUV.
Okay.
Closed.
Okay.
Detectives seem to have a breakthrough, but the real hurdle is about to begin. They would soon hit a roadblock while trying to get Javarsi to confess.
That you might have had something to do with it.
Yes, sir.
What you know about that?
Nothing. I mean, why would I do something like that? I told you my whereabouts. My grandma can tell you my whereabouts, where I was.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I have anything to do with my own cousin?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you. I mean, we just have to, if people
Yeah,
tell us
go
something,
over it, yeah.
we just have to check into it.
Yeah, I understand that. I would never have something to do with it. Knowing all these years I've been knowing him, never even crossed my mind to do something like that, have anything to do with something like that. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
No. I just can't. I didn't do that. I promise you that.
No emotions, no type of... If this was an innocent person, he would be enraged at the idea that they're even suggesting he had anything to do with it, knowing that he loved that person, his cousin, and his family. It's insane to see how little emotions he's conveying, bro. Zero at all.
Because man, this was a terrible incident. Nobody deserved that.
They really didn't.
And nobody deserved that. So, you got a child, teenager,
And a grandmother
and a
slash mother.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was saying, I don't even see myself even being in no situation like that.
And why's that?
Because I'm not that type of person,
What type of person is that?
A cold-hearted person.
Cold-hearted person.
Yeah. I don't see myself hurting anyone.
Mm-hmm. You never gotten upset and want to hurt somebody?
No, sir. Well, everybody got upset.
Uh-huh.
Can't even lie about that.
Yeah.
As far as getting upset and going off and stuff like that, I don't.
Well, let me ask you this, man. Why would people be saying, what if I told you, why all these people would be saying that you had something to do with it?
Probably because Caleb was my cousin, and they saw, when me and Caleb was together or something like that at the mall, they saw me and him together. So they figured if he always with Caleb, he probably know who Caleb had beef with, who Caleb all let come to the house, who Caleb hung out with, who Caleb did this with, who Caleb did that with. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, but stuff like that, no. I don't know who he had beef with or anything like that.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir. I'm positive.
So you don't know nothing about this incident at all?
No, sir.
You ain't heard anything about it at all?
No, sir. As far as my grandma saying what she said and stuff like that.
And what she said again?
She had said that she think it was somebody in the family or something like that. And that dude on the corner at that store, and he told us he see like the same thing. And I was thinking to myself, it can't be, because everybody in Caleb's family is too sweet like that. And nobody on our side of the family even met that side with my grandfather. His side of the family with Caleb now. So that's why I was like,
What do y'all think this was over, bro? This has to be like, because they said jealousy. I mean, like, what in the world? Like, think about it with me, right? What on planet Earth, what on God's green earth can you be so jealous of that you go smoke and kill and end your own family members? Add more context to it. It's not men, bro. It's obviously your cousin who's a man, but also a little girl, your niece, and your grandmother. What on earth can you be so jealous of to do that? This is what I mean by, hey, this is a demon soul, bro. Not human.
no. Y'all can't be right.
In his second interrogation, Javarsi plays mind games, trying his best to showcase his love and affection for his cousin and extended family. However, the detective knows the true nature of his heart.
I understand y'all want to know who did this and all, but as far as information, I honestly don't know. With the swab and all that, I said, I didn't see no point.
There was a smile right there, bro. I know the camera's not this shit is from the 1950s, but still, look at that. I mean, even in this frame, it's just like a nice little smirk. It's like you're talking about a girl you're in love with or something, bro. And this is why I bring y'all real life content. When you go outside, right, unless you're exposed to this kind of evil, you will quit. It's human nature. You will forget this shit exists out there. You will forget that there's these types of humans out there. Listen to me. I'm about to be super real with y'all, bro. Look, when y'all watch, when we take a look at this type of content and there's these phenotypes of devils roaming around with us. They live amongst us, right? You don't know who can be who. You don't know people's intentions. You don't know. Jealousy is a real thing. Envy is a real thing. Backstabbing is the realest thing because it will always like that is the worst one, but that will always happen to you from the closest people to you. Here's what I'm getting at. Especially when it comes to your family, bro. And if you're my age, when we have kids, if you're a little older, if you got kids, bro, you got to understand it doesn't matter who the person is and like what their blood relationship to you is, right? If you sense any type of envy or jealousy or any ill feeling, if you're lucky enough for them to show you a sign, right? If you're lucky enough for them to show you something like that, and you can pick up on it from slick comments, like somebody walking into your house and it's not them like genuinely admiring your place because you got a nice place or you clean up your house or whatever. They get in there and they comment like, oh man, I bet this was expensive. Oh man, I bet this was that. That type of person that you sense jealousy from, or envy, or any of these it doesn't matter if it's your cousin, uncle, whoever the it is, put a red flag on them in your mind and be very careful. Don't let them in your house. Don't let them around your family. And don't tell them any more about yourself. That's if you're lucky enough for them to show you the real colors. Sometimes you might not be. But that's why I bring y'all these videos, bro, because as my mind can't even grasp how tragic this shit is and how that father would even be able to live life after this. But what we can learn from this, even though we haven't even gotten to the motive, is, bro, I don't give a who this person is to you, family, your I don't care who it is to you. If you ever get this ill feeling of they might be jealous of you or envious of what you got or envious of the relationship you share with somebody or something good you have going on in your life, do not hesitate to protect yourself. That doesn't mean, cutting them. It just means protecting yourself, bro. It just means maybe this person, I don't want him to be at my house anymore. Or maybe I don't want these people around my family. Be very careful, extremely careful. And even then, you might not be safe, but that's the least I can tell y'all. Now, let's get back to it. Hold on.
Like I just told that detective right there, I said, you find anything the same day, you got my grandmother's number, you know where she live at, I'll come in and do everything.
What you mean by that? I mean, you gotta clarify for me.
I mean, as far as me not being out there since June, there's no even way of point. And for...
What do you mean find anything? What you talking about?
He said something like, if he come across anything in the next 2 or 3 months, he just want to make sure I'm out the way. But like I said, you got my grandmother's number, you got my number, you got the address. I'm not going nowhere. I'm there. I go to Spencer High School. I'm there. You call her, ask her. And like I said, I told y'all I'll think about it, but I just didn't see no point in doing that. But yeah.
Okay. Well, we appreciate it. We had to ask you. That's support of the process, okay?
Yes, sir.
And I want to say this to you again. You hear anything, or you remember something that you may not remember tonight,
give y'all a call.
Give us a call.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, let me go check on some stuff. Let's see about getting you out of here, man.
All right.
We appreciate your time.
And I said this before to y'all. There's 2 types of killers. There's the killer that does something heinous and knows that they just did something heinous and runs away, right? That's one type. And then there's the type, and I think this one is way worse in my mind, bro. Like when I'm trying to conceptualize and understand. This other type is somebody who does the killing is somebody who does it, ends people, and then thinks they are smart enough, they're witty enough, they're slick enough to continue living in the same area. They're not running away. They just think they can outsmart everybody. They think they can be more slick than everybody. They think they can get away with it. And on top of that, this context, which is literally his own fucking family, and it's 3 people, this is a real piece of shit who thinks he's smart, bro. Who thinks that he's more witty and more slick than everybody that's going to take a look at this tragedy and try to bring closure to that father and try to actually find out who's behind this tragedy. He thinks he's smarter than everybody.
I appreciate you coming down, okay?
Can you please take me home now? I'm sleepy as a dog, man.
Give me a few minutes, okay? I'll get you home, okay?
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The detective is pushing him to admit his guilt, but he lies through his teeth without any remorse. He even challenges the detectives and refuses to take DNA tests, but his struggle to keep his secret buried was soon about to fall apart.
I just get a vibe about you. And, you know, if something just keep telling me that things not adding up here, man. I don't think you're being truthful with me.
I'm being 100% truthful with you.
I don't think you are. I don't think you are. You know, I've been doing this, you know, for some time now, speaking with people. And some things you telling me, it don't make it's not adding up. It's not jiving.
Well, I'm telling you what I know.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I have done with Caleb, and as far as being around him and stuff like that.
Well, I think you know more than what you're telling me.
I honestly don't.
I do. And deep down inside, you may know why I feel that way.
Not really. As far as you asked me where my whereabouts were, I told you. My grandma can vouch for me.
Is there anything you want to get off your mind? Anything you want to get off your chest?
No, sir.
Anything you want to get off your heart?
No, sir. I'm sitting here looking you eye to eye as a man.
Mm-hmm.
He has no heart. No heart to take shit off of, bro. For him to do this shit in the first place. You can't even play the emotional game, bro. You can't even tell him. You can't even play his... Like I said, listen to me, bro. I broke this shit down for y'all. There's a guilty consciousness within humans who have a soul, right? You will suppress it if you're in trouble, but when a human being with a soul that actually has that guilty consciousness in them, you can play at it. So you can do this. You can be like, hey, do you have anything you want to take off your chest, your heart? And it might spark the little guilty consciousness up to flare up, and they might actually talk to you. Him though, he's some other shit. Not one of us for sure. You can't even play that card with him. This is a demon.
As a man.
I don't have nothing to hide. I mean, like, if you don't believe me or whatever, I mean, that's just how you feel.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Eye to eye.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing I know about this. Nothing.
So a person like you want to do that?
No, sir. Never, ever. Can harm nobody.
Person like you want to kill an innocent child?
No, sir, I would not.
Person like you want to kill a grandmother?
No.
A caring person like Miss Gloria?
No.
Person like you want to kill Caleb?
No. Been straightforward with you since the first moment I walked in here.
It's about 100% clear now that Javarsi is truly a pathological liar. At this point, it's quite shocking to see that he still shows no trace of remorse. This attitude strongly hints at sociopathic tendencies. He knows that his lies are caught, but even then, he keeps on provoking the detectives.
We had some people down there talking to your grandmama. Is there any reason why they would tell us that you and Caleb were kind of like video game buddies?
We never had the same systems.
Well, I'm just asking because
No.
that's what they were telling us.
No. Shut up. Do not sit here and tell me he did all this over a fucking PlayStation, bro. Please say it ain't so. I do not want to unpause this shit and then this conversation lead to this shit all being over Caleb having a PlayStation 5 and him having a PlayStation 4 and that being the reason he decided to smoke his entire family, bro. Because they said, what are they alluding to here? Where is this conversation going? Nah. No. No. Don't go there.
weren't that close and you don't really know much about him. So you don't play no games with him online or nothing?
No,
like
sir.
That? I know Detective Malone here told you what he thought about it, and I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
I understand. If I knew anything, I would tell y'all, but as far as like video game buddies and stuff like that, no. I don't play any games. I don't own any games. Last game I owned was right before I lost my last job, was working at Waffle House. I worked at Little Caesars before that. And I barely can afford to make payments on that, so I took that back.
I think you know more than you're telling me.
Which I don't.
I'm just telling, I'm being honest with you. I ain't lied to you since I come through this front door with you, but I'm just, there's something in me telling me that you can help me out. And I don't know why you're holding back.
I'm not holding back, I promise you I'm not.
I'm being honest with you.
Same thing I told him.
You know, I don't, my job is not to bull people, and there's just something, everything you're saying to me, it's like you want to dance around everything, and I don't get that. Because it's your cousin. It's not my cousin.
I understand. I'm telling you what I know. From my family members to theirs, they know I don't have much contact with Caleb. Caleb don't tell me anything. I don't do anything with him. Like as far as video games or anything.
But you say you tell me if you did, right?
Yes, sir, I would.
He's clearly trying his best to prove his emotional and mental distance from Caleb, but little does he know that the detectives have already secured enough evidence to send him to jail. Moreover, his friend Raheem has already confessed to his own involvement in the burglary and implicated Javarsi in the brutal murder of his family.
Okay, so now you guys are at the front door, and he tells you what again?
To go inside the house because he's not gonna come out if you see 3 people.
Okay. And so you and Quez are waiting at the side of the house. What are you guys talking about when you're on the side of the house? Seriously, I mean, you're probably like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me in your own words, what did he say to you?
I said, what are we doing? He said, just be quiet and wait for him. And I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. Then when he came to the door, he snatched him, and I just...
Well, I mean, you say snatch. Just tell me, like, real simple terms. Did you see him put his hands on him?
No. I just guess he snatched him because when I heard it, I came around the corner.
Okay, now is the front door closed when you come around the front?
I never came. I came to the front of the corner.
Okay. I understand.
And then I looked. He had him in the front of the yard on the ground.
And so when you say he's on the ground, who's on the ground?
Javarsi and Caleb.
Okay, are they fighting?
No, he was just holding him on the ground.
Okay, who's on top?
Javarsi.
Okay, so Javarsi is physically just holding down, or has he got his knees on him, or how would you describe it?
Got it. Holding his hands on.
Okay.
Holding his hands behind him.
Okay, is he asking you to help him, or how does that work?
He asked me to help him. I said, if no. And I just stood in the bush and I sat down. Then the other boy helped him. They tied him up. I started shaking.
Okay. When you say tie him up, I think rope, but what did they tie him up with? Okay. There's all kinds of tape. What color was the tape?
I guess duct tape because it was gray.
Okay, so you're saying duct tape because it's gray or silver. Would you say silver or gray?
Yeah.
Gray, silver, but it's shiny. Okay. When he ties him up, what hands or what part? Can you show me?
Tied him up like this.
Okay. So his hands are like this?
No, like this.
Okay, like this?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other tape, or he just tapes them all the way around like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So what's he saying to him at this time?
He just kept on saying,
Caleb is saying this?
No.
Okay. Okay. Well, what's Caleb saying? He's got to be saying...
And he was just like, why? You better be playing. You better be playing.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I was sitting in bushes, I seen him walk past with him.
Okay. Now, is he dragging Caleb, or,
He's walking him.
Okay, he's walking him. Okay. And what's he saying to him?
Telling him to be quiet.
Okay.
Javarsi had murdered the entire Short family and tried to stage the perfect burglary. However, his evil plan was doomed to fail, as Rahim would soon reveal exactly how and when Javarsi devised his sinister scheme.
Ouida and him, they go inside the house.
And
Quest, okay. And you stay outside. Did they tell you stay here, be the lookout, or why do you stay outside?
I didn't want anything to do with that.
Okay. Did they ask you to come in?
Yeah, they kept on telling me come on. I kept on saying I don't want nothing to do with it. That's not what I came here for.
Okay. If I had asked you what you did go there for, what would you say?
He said to go see what he got for Christmas.
Okay. So you're in the bushes. Do you see anybody drive by?
No.
Okay, so you don't see any lights or anything?
No.
Okay. How long were they inside the house for?
About 30 minutes.
30 minutes?
And that dumbass really thought he was going to do this, pull it off with other people involved and not get caught for it. Why does this dude owe him any type of loyalty? Why would he take the fall or not speak about the situation when he's pushed to talk about it or get punished? To me, it's insane that he even did this with other people around to see it. Hold on, man. I'm so invested.
Okay. What do you hear? You hear any noises?
Mm-mm.
You don't hear anybody screaming?
No.
You don't hear anything? Okay. So 30 minutes, and then what's the next thing someone contacts you? What happens?
Quest came, he said, come on for the girl. I said, what y'all do? He didn't say nothing. And then when I was getting in the car, Javarsi came out. He said, he'll be right behind us. He could get more stuff.
Okay. Okay, so now you walk to the garage, correct? Okay, now how do you know to be the driver or the passenger?
I wasn't going to be the driver.
Okay.
But I was the passenger.
Okay, and I'm not trying to put words, but I mean, are you helping them put things in the trunk or?
No, everything was already in when I came.
Okay, so everything was already in, okay. What did you see that was in the vehicle?
Boxes of shoes.
Okay, do you know any brand names of shoes or?
Jordans.
Any other? Nikes. What else? TVs, PlayStations?
No, I didn't see nothing.
No TVs.
No.
So they were there just to get, was it jewelry, clothing?
Only thing I seen was shoes.
Okay, shoes, okay. When you're looking at the garage, and it's a double car garage, is the vehicle on the left side or the right side or in the middle?
The middle.
The middle? Okay. And when you come around, you get in the passenger seat. Is Quez already in there or you just sit in the car?
We getting in at the same time.
Okay, getting in at the same time. And you say the boxes are in the back seat or is there a trunk? I'm not familiar.
Back seat.
Okay, back seat. Okay. And how many boxes of shoes would you say?
6.
Okay.
7. 6 or 7.
Okay.
It's important to note that Quez is actually a nickname for Rufus Leonard Burks, one of Javarsi's friends. And now, the detectives are finally getting a clearer picture of where Rahim, Javarsi, and Rufus were on the day of the incident. Unlike Javarsi, Rahim isn't making things difficult for them, at least for now. But that cooperation is not going to last much longer.
So everything you think that was taken was in the VW Beetle? Okay. Why do you think Ouida didn't leave with you?
I don't know.
So what they're saying is, to steal a couple pair of shoes, he decided to smoke and end his cousin's entire family. So this is what this was over? The jealousy they're talking about is a couple pair of shoes? When I say these gremlins aren't human, I mean it, bro. This little piece of shit, from what I'm understanding so far, did all this over so he can steal a couple pair of shoes. Let me hold off on what I gotta say until they really confirm it, because now the only thing that's left in my mind is why? What did he gain from this? Over what? That's still the most important question to me, man. I'm just waiting until we really find out. Hold on.
I'm just asking, can you guess why?
He told us he was getting more stuff. But
he said he was getting more stuff?
But when later that night, when I asked what did he stay for and get, he said, don't worry about it and stuff.
Okay, so you guys leave, and Ouida is still there.
Yeah.
Okay, is the door open from the garage in? Can you see anything?
No.
Okay.
I've seen a lot.
Then you guys sit around, talk. Do they smoke? Well, what do they do?
Smoke.
What's he talk about? Did he tell you what happened inside?
No.
You don't get into it.
I kept asking what he did, why he stayed. And he just said, be quiet, mind your business.
Mercy, showing
This whole time, I've been patient, letting this video play out, waiting to get to the point where they tell us the motive. 3 bodies, I'd expect an entire mansion on Mars and full ownership of planet Earth. Because if you're willing to smoke 3 people, at least that's what you're getting out of it. No, this whole time, it really was over some pairs of shoes is what I'm understanding. Get in the comments right now and let me know if it's something else. But the only thing that I heard that he unloaded and loaded was pairs of fucking shoes. That was the price that he did all this for. He really killed he really annihilated his whole family over some Jordans.
him a picture of him, Caleb, and Gigi swimming together in the pool. However, Javarsi showed no remorse, making it clear that his actions were driven by jealousy and was still consumed with rage. Javarsi was loved by Gloria and her family. He also spent the summers with the Short family. Despite being unconditionally loved by the Short family, Javarsi chose to destroy this sweet, close-knit family out of his jealousy toward Caleb. But was it jealousy, or did Javarsi have a sociopathic side that no one knew about? If Caleb was the reason, why did Javarsi brutally kill his mother and Gigi? How could Caleb have never seen this dark side of his cousin? Or was it simply the love that blinded the Short family, making them trust their close relatives without—
Yeah, I don't know. Get in the comments and let me know what y'all think, bro. Because let me tell y'all, there's no soul in that body of that little demon, bro. That is somebody from fucking hell. I'll just put it like that, bro. I'm off this. I'll see y'all in the next one, man. But for real, especially if you made it to this point, get in the comments and let me know how you feel about this. I will be reading y'all's comments, for real. I'm out.